Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 31st of May. With Robert Murray McShane, we keep working through the book of Deuteronomy. Today we read chapter 4. And in verse 15, we have the following. Moses writes, "You saw no form of any kind the day the Lord spoke to you at Horeb out of the fire. Therefore, watch yourselves very carefully, so that you do not become corrupt and make for yourselves an idol, an image of any shape, whether formed like a man or a woman." And as I read that, I thought, it's very clear. Don't bow down and worship any image. And for many Jewish people, and certainly Muslims as well, you don't have images. If you go into a mosque, there's no picture of any kind. The Islamic art is all patterns and geometric and shapes. No image of animal, man, woman, anything. And it extends into people don't want their photographs taken because that then becomes an image. And while I think that is probably not the way it should be interpreted these days, because art is often used instructionally. And in the Middle Ages, the stained glass windows in the cathedrals and churches told the gospel story to a people, the vast majority of whom were illiterate, and they wouldn't know the gospel. And so the pictures helped them understand what was going on. But at the same time, we need to recognize that the pictures do shape our perspective of that truth. And I remember years back as a teenager seeing a picture, which I think was from a Nigerian or a Kenyan artist, of the crucifixion. Jesus on the cross and Mary and John below it. And I was shocked because all the individuals in the picture were black. And I thought, my gut reaction was, oh, that's wrong. And then I suddenly realized, hold on, that's not wrong. There's no indication of what Jesus looked like. And at that moment, it became sort of one of those moments of dawning and clarity. The light bulb goes on and you suddenly realize all of my perceptions of Jesus and the disciples have been shaped by the art I've seen. Pictures in churches, stained glass windows, pictures in children's Bibles. And all of them present Jesus as a French, probably, or English princeling. And that is a cultural understanding. It's not the reality. And it's interesting to note that in the Gospels and in the New Testament, there's no description of Jesus physically. There's no description of how tall he was and what color his eyes were. Did he have long hair or not? Nothing. Therefore, that image is not important. He's teaching who he was, his inherent nature. That's what is important. And so as we go through our faith, we need to just bear in mind that the images we have may be helpful, but they may trip us up. What we have and what we base our faith on and what we ground our lives in is what God has spoken. God has spoken, and we have that recorded for us in his word, accessible, readable, understandable, and that is the ground of our faith. That is the source of our hope. That is what we build our faith and life on. So be challenged to read Scripture, to shape your life, your understanding by Scripture, and to grow in grace. Be blessed.